noggins there.
Forgot to see if all my hair was sticking up. It is.
We were leaving top hat room above the frame there, the way it was framed before. I should start wearing my top hat just
For fun.
casually.
I think you should go get groceries in it.
I can't wear it. I can't wear it now because it's close to Halloween. People would think that it's a costume or something. I need to wear it like around Easter. You know, when people don't expect a person in a top hat to walk by. That's when you got to wear a top hat.
At Easter? No, just like any other day.
No, but even at Easter, then people think it's rabbit related. The guy's gonna pull a rabbit Easter bunny out of the hat or something. No. Funerals. That's when I'm gonna wear a top hat.
Wow.
Well, because you don't expect a magic trick at the funeral, like, and voila, grandma's not dead, everybody. Woo! Just kidding. No. Maybe that's an inappropriate time
Yes, that's a horrible.
No. Unless your grandma's in on the joke. That could be hilarious and awful at the same time. My grandma never pulled that trick.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
But when
and that's
I
how
go,
we're starting this live feed.
this is another thing I put on my bucket list of things to happen to me when I pass away. One was to be served up in milkshakes after being cremated at my own funeral.
Oh my goodness.
The other one was to be weekend at Bernied for a while, like, you know, marionetted all around and doing stuff. But we should start, if we do the weekend at Bernie experience, we should start it at the funeral. I'll be like in my casket, and then I can just like rise up with some big marionette puppet things. Then you and Steven can weekend at Bernie me all around.
So before this, I said, "Oh, what are we gonna talk about?" And he's like, "I'm not sure. Apparently, this was it. This is why he didn't tell me."
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Nancy said, "Alex, that's disturbing." I agree, Nancy. That is disturbing.
No, that would be. But you know, I think. I think. I don't know.
Hello to everyone coming on. It's nice to see everyone.
Nice. Hey, we started off talking about top hats, and then it went straight to me being dead and like being weekend Bernied all around.
That's what happens after a full day of crazy activities, and your brain is just like.
Some people
done.
probably don't know that reference. If you
Weekend
go
at
back
Bernie's.
long enough ago, you'll see Weekend at Bernie's. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a dead guy that people think is alive. That's kind of how I live my life right now. I'm just like pushing through things. I do live as though I feel the end is near, though. I think like if somebody
and that doesn't mean like he does a lot of things to make me angry.
Well, I do that too. But if I thought about how I kind of live my life, I'm living like a guy who's been told he's got like 5 days to live. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go buy a fancy car. I'm gonna build a house. I'm gonna build this store. I'm gonna stock it full of stuff. I'm living like the end is near.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. I really do feel as though
I mean, to be honest, all our end is near. In the gist of things, 100 years, even if you get to make it over 100, it's not a very long time. So
no, you got to accomplish what you want to accomplish now. There's no putting off to tomorrow what you should do today. That's not the saying. It's something like that. It's like, don't stall, don't procrastinate. Just get some stuff done in your life and don't make excuses for it. Just get it done. And that's what we're doing. We're getting stuff done. We've got this house, and this is probably the last time I'm going to push this big in my lifetime. Like, I don't foresee. I say that now.
I know,
but if somebody's like, we've got an abandoned warehouse for sale. It's dirt cheap. Hey, Scoob, we should go get it. Like, hey, let's go buy an abandoned warehouse.
That's loud.
But which one are you? Are you Daphne or Velma? I'd like to think you're probably Daphne with Velma's brains.
Oh, what a smart answer.
Yeah, I am Shaggy and Scooby. Like, let's get out of here. No, I would be digging through stuff for sure. I don't know what's next for me. What next big things? Oh, Chris. Oh, not Chris, but Chris T or Christ. I don't know what your name is.
Going to be a ghost for Halloween.
Patrick the Ghost.
Patrick will love that.
Patrick would love that. Let's see. When do we get to check on the house again? I was filming and Melissa was there. and I was trying to catch her on camera.
There.
Well, it's true because I was filming and you kept yoinking yourself out of camera.
Well, sometimes when Alexander goes to film, like sometimes I just all of a sudden I have no clue. Like he's filming a lot of the time, so I'll just walk across shot, or I walk into the house and I'm not a quiet human, you guys. I walk in, I'll be like, guess what I saw outside? Guess what neighbor I saw? And he'll be in the middle of filming.
That happens, yeah.
So I jump out of shot most times. If you ever see me do the like ducking out of the way, it's because I actually think that I've accidentally walked through shot. And that happens. So
we're being asked if we're celebrating Halloween. I wouldn't say celebrating. It's a really weird holiday. It's like some random druid leftover, All Hallows Eve.
And it's funny, as I'm getting older, the less I like Halloween, which is, sorry for all of you that love Halloween. My sister-in-law loves Halloween.
But when you think about it, it's weird though. Hey kids, we want you to be good human beings all year long, but on this one day, we're going to throw what looks like body parts all over the lawn and collect candy. Does that make any sense? Yeah. I don't know. It's super weird. And I mean, there are people out there, and this is talking to a guy who's got the back room full of basically Halloween decor. I've got all those horror dioramas that are set up there. Maybe it's that wanting to face the end, to push yourself further, to buy that.
I think it's just people want candy. So
people do want candy. But I remember when it was Halloween, you'd have somebody with, it would be like a ghost, or they'd have like a Charlie Brown mask or something. You'd be like, oh, isn't that cute? And then at some point, it was like people had to push those limits.
Yeah.
Some of the Halloween costumes are pretty quirky and fun, though.
Paula, happy anniversary. I just saw in the comments, Paula Lloyd said it's her 20th, or their 20th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, I think it's all holidays for me are diminished now. I don't look forward to birthdays, Christmas, any of that stuff. I look forward to it for the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, but at some point, you have all the can openers you need. Like, you don't need to ask for stuff for Christmas, and it's just awkward to ask people for things when you've already, like, we're good. We can open up. That was like the main thing, I think, when we first moved out, was having the ability to open a bean can. It was like, oh man, we bought canned beans, but we don't have a can opener. This is a real problem. That is a useful thing. You need that once in your life. You need to have a can opener that's half decent. But beyond that, apparently I have very low expectations for what should be in our kitchen. I'm just like opening up the can of beans and like, blah, blah, all the syrupy, beany goodness.
That's not generally what it means when you open up a can of beans.
We should, yeah. Oh, I've opened up plenty cans of beans in my life. We should just have a restaurant that serves nothing but the liquidy, syrupy sap goo from the top of bean cans.
Sweetheart, I feel like your restaurant's not going to do well. I love you very much, but I wouldn't eat at your restaurant.
They say the best stuff rises to the top, right? The cream rises to the top. Well, what's on the top of a bean can? All that liquidy goo, sealant. It's not water, and it's not bean juice. I don't know. We should do a DNA test on it and see what it used to be.
Ew.
It was part pork, part duck, and hippopotamus fat. We don't know what's inside of it, but I'm going to serve it in shot glasses. Would you like a double of your bean juice, sir? Why, yes.
Ew.
And we'll just be like at a bar with the martini shaker, but it'll be just a couple bean cans put together, and I'll be like, when you flop the half open can over top to drain that stuff out, that'll be my fancy move, like bartenders do with their I was going to say maracas, but with their shakers. Just kind of like strain it out through the top, and I'll be fancy, like I'll do it behind my back, like Tom Cruise in whatever that movie was where he was Cocktail.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, with bean cans. It's gonna be a classy restaurant. You should all come down. No. We can't throw the beans in. We're not licensed for that. We're just here to sell you the juice. Just the bean juice.
That's so gross.
Watch and you find out it probably gives you superhuman powers. We've been draining it off all this time. Just like dandelions probably cure every ailment known to mankind.
Dandelions do heal a lot of ailments.
Actually, yeah,
they're supposed to be good for you.
And dandelions are everywhere, and we're like, stupid dandelion.
It's hard though, like in.
Oh, Jean, thank you so much for the live chat.
Thanks for being you.
No problem. It's easy being us.
What's the slimy stuff on Spam? You don't want to know, Nancy.
The slimy stuff. Maybe we should have like just all the slimy toppings.
No.
Like everything, like the juice off of the top of Spam. We could have the juice off the top of beans. We could have, what else has slimy goo on top that people like are usually like, oh, like sour cream when it's been in the fridge too long.
That's just the water separating.
Or when you open up yogurt, or when you go to squirt out mustard and you're like, all right, this mustard's gonna be awesome on this hot dog, and all it does is just drench the bun in liquidy goo. Like, oh man, well not if you're selling it by the shot glass full. That liquidy goo.
Did you guys think this is what you were signing up for? When
Listen,
you clicked that button, you're like, yes, Curiosity Inc. Let's see what crazy concoction he's going to spin.
That is a disappointment, though. Everybody, I don't care who you are, what country you're in, at some point, somebody's offered you mustard, and you've been like, mustard? How lovely. I enjoy mustard. And you've been like, and it's been like, no. Everybody, and you still...
And ketchup.
Ketchup is more forgivable than I think mustard juice.
Just the water comes out though, and then you're like,
Yeah, we've all had that. It's a letdown to say the least.
Gross, but funny.
It's true. I know we're supposed to shake the bottle, but I'm saying at some point, you forget to shake the bottle, like you're at barbecue, and somebody's passing around the condiments. The other thing about barbecue is what's funny about a barbecue. You don't go to a restaurant and be like, I'm awfully hungry today. I'm gonna take 3 hamburgers. That doesn't happen. But when you're in a barbecue situation in your backyard, it's not abnormal to be like, hey, cousin Fred, how many you want? 3, 4, 5? You want a dozen hamburgers? It's like we're serving Jughead at our house. Jughead, Forsyth P. Jones is at our house right now, like waiting for burgers. But at a barbecue, your tolerance level for meat intake changes from where it is at a restaurant. Like 1 hamburger is completely normal when you're at a restaurant, but at a barbecue, oh, the gloves are off. Sharon Kenyon sent us €5, 5 British pounds. Thank you so much. So he says, I'm glad I wasn't your science teacher. I will have you know that I was a good science student, and I think I did okay. I did good in biology. In fact, if it wasn't for biology class, I wouldn't have met Melissa, which sounds really dirty and awkward. But it's not like that. It was not like that. It was another girl. Well, that sounds even worse. It was
just like that.
It was, no. We've told the story about how we met, but it was through biology class because her dad's girlfriend's daughter was my biology class partner that invited me back to their place, and I wasn't interested in her.
Where I was waiting.
Where Melissa was like a praying mantis, or no, like more like a stick bug because you're super skinny, and you're you're hiding in the corner amongst the trees, the branches, and I'm like, is that another girl over there? And you're like, peekaboo! Oh my
gosh. So the day has come where I dreamt that Alexander would be like, would he call me thin? Would he call, no, calls me a stick bug.
Have you ever seen praying mantis or sticks? They do this.
Put your little hands away.
Look, you're even attacking me like this right now. See?
What is up with that?
Is that a girl over there in the trees? I think I sense one. Hello. I'm in so much trouble after this live feed.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yes, no, but seriously. And then that lovely girl whom I met.
Oh, you were not, no.
Chased me around the house.
No, I did not chase you.
You were part of that.
I was not part of that. I saved you.
And then you were, anyway.
I saved you.
She's like, some chords on guitar. Can you show me some guitar? I don't know why she sounds like she's from the South now. She's fanning herself on the porch. Hon, can I have another refill on this sweet tea? Do you know how to play guitar? Guitar. It's not guitar, it's guitar. Geetar. Wow, you play a fancy guitar.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, that's right. And I was like, well, yes. I can show you a few chords. But a ding 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 ding. I'm not dueling banjos.
But that's not what you said to me.
What did I say to you?
You said, I can't believe your dad just left me alone with you. What if I was an axe murderer?
Oh.
That's what you said.
Well, it's true.
And I was thinking like, what?
Now,
oh my gosh.
At the time, I was concerned for her well-being. So concerned, in fact, that I brought her under my careful wing, my tutelage, for the next entirety of my life to make sure she was okay. This little stick-like fawn, lovely little creature that was there waiting for me wanted to play guitar. And yes. And so we've been together ever since. Yeah.
Yep.
That's how that happened. I'm in a lot of trouble. I can sense it already.
As he said, Melissa, waiting for him like a spider.
That'd be weird if you could actually cast spider webs. Like, Spider-Man seems like a fun concept, and you can swing from it and all that stuff. You'd think you'd get like some serious tears in your wrist from that coming out of there. Like, ching, 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 ching. But what if you sneezed and it went off or something? Like, you'd have major problems.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You wouldn't be allowed on airplanes.
Cindy from Red Deer.
Yeah.
Do you have a warm blanket for that doghouse?
This is why I have to get a heater for the garage so that when I am out there.
You know what? It's so funny because I instantly didn't think of it as a place for Alexander to go. We had to donate our doghouse that we had in the backyard because our dog doesn't even use it. And
yeah, I threw out the doghouse today.
So it's so funny. I seriously thought, how did Cindy know we had a doghouse in the backyard? Seriously. I don't even consider you getting in trouble. Like,
our dog Chewy is a Yorkie. Yorkies are tiny, like the size of a football. So if she
Ours
made me
is.
go sleep in the doghouse, it would just be a doghouse hat. I'd have to put it on my head and stand there in the corner with a doghouse on top of my head.
Oh my gosh.
And it'd be all echoey. Can I come in now? No. How about now?
Oh
No.
my gosh.
You may not come in at all. I don't know why. Stop it, Shrieky.
Big John said, I pushed the group therapy button and got this channel somehow. Huh?
Yeah.
Welcome to therapy, John.
There are things. My therapy the other day was, the last video I put up. So to answer your question, this all started with me saying that the camera wasn't pointed right and there was top hat room.
Oh my gosh.
Which led to many other...
To answer whose question? What was the question?
The question was, when are we going to see a video update on the house? You know, as many times as I go off track, I will get us back on again all the time. I will... Look, I remember. I have...
That reminds me of my dad. He would my dad would like to argue though, and then all of a sudden, like 4 hours later, he'd be like, circle back to the initial question that had nothing.
At
to do
least
with
he remembers.
anything.
See, yes, a man after my
Oh
own
my
heart
God.
he was. That Dave, he could rile her up. Like they would get into conversations about the dumbest stuff and argue about it, and I would just be like, I don't have to be here, and I'd go do my own thing. Hours later, I'm like, this is pretty great. They're just down there arguing, and I'm not in the doghouse with the doghouse on my head.
But I was so lucky though, because even if my dad and I would have an argument, at the end of it, no matter what, we would end with a hug, and we would tell each other that we love each
I'd
other.
always hear them. It'd be like this. This is what I would hear. And then,
Oh my god.
oh, I love you, honey. I love you too. You stubborn old fart. Yeah. So, they always ended up, they loved it. Sometimes Dave would say something that he knew would rile her up, like to get her, like.
It's like he was bored.
But he would do it on purpose and he'd wink at me. He'd be like,
What is-
that outfit doesn't look very good on you, Melissa. And he'd wink at me like, just wait and see what happens. So she's used to being teased is what I'm saying. Hi, April. Nice to see you on. We're good. So,
tangent saved, then immediately off to another.
but I didn't forget about my tangent because I remembered that I was going to say that an update on the house is coming in the next couple days. I was filming today
Yeah.
with my lovely bride. Her and I were filming and making this house update video. That'll be coming in a couple days. The video I put out today was just a little one because, not that I'm going to do them all the time, but we had a video request. Somebody in one of these comments, it was like, hey, Alex, you seem to like stuff. You should try fixing up one of these Hot Wheels at one point. So I was like, you know what? I will. And plus, I had a couple beater Hot Wheels that I had kicking around and I thought I could fix up. And look what I have now. It's not so yucky anymore. It's a cute little Hot Wheel car. So I'm kind of proud of it. You know, this was a junky, trashy little car the other day, and now it's neat. And someone will buy it from me, and I will put that money towards putting groceries on our table, and that's because that's what I do. Somebody incidentally was saying that they could not believe that I sold the motorcycle, the one that my dad and I fixed up, and they were upset. They couldn't understand it. In fact, they said, "I'm leaving your channel because you sold the motorcycle."
People get very passionate about things that they have nothing to do with.
Yes.
And it's
So
none of that person's business.
I have said this before. There are a few things that I have that are so special that I wouldn't sell. The guitar that I play was my dad's guitar since 1969. That is not leaving my side.
But even your dad tried to sell that guitar.
He did sell it. In fact, my dad pawned that guitar and I bought it off of him instead. That's how I ended up with it. But the motorcycle, it was nice to have around, but it was going to sit in my garage at the house. I had been without it for over a decade as it was anyway. And a very good friend of mine offered to buy it, and it's going to a museum where it's going to be looked after. If I was it would be like having all that money just sitting there and going in the corner and not being used, because the bike it's not really too quick.
It's a thing.
I'm also, we'll see. There we go. I saw that it was buffering there for a bit. Hopefully it comes back soon.
Is it? Oh wait, let's see.
Are we back?
Buffering? Is anybody there? Hello? Oh, somebody said whoof.
I hope that we're back. Okay, we're back now. You might have to refresh your screen.
I have to refresh. It froze with Alexander's mouth completely
with my mouth hanging open, yeah. Anyway, What I was going to say, somebody said back but fuzzy. Well,
I have to watch mine's making me watch a whole commercial, you guys.
What?
I mean, I guess in a sense, it's paying me. But
You should just watch all those commercials right to the end.
So
I guess the moral that I wanted to get across is that if there's anything that Melissa and I have learned over the past few years is that when we pass, it's not like this is new news.
Yeah.
You don't take any of this stuff with you. What matters the most in life to myself, and I'm sure to Melissa as well, is having a decent quality of life and a wonderful environment for our family and stuff.
And the memories that we make with each other. Like, it's not about the bike. It's not about a thing. It's about the memories that you made. Say for that bike, you worked on that bike with your dad.
Yeah, somebody said King Tut took all his stuff with him. Did he though? Did he really?
But the thing is that the memories that you made with that person, that's what was actually important. The thing that you have at the end is a thing. So I get that some people don't think that way. And that's the thing. A lot of times people will get mad, but that's on them. That's their own.
Yeah.
That's their own story that they're reliving in themselves.
But
that's nothing to do with it.
If we never sold any of the stuff that we had, we would be in a hoarding situation here. Mm-hmm. With the amount of stuff that I've bought, I have no need or want to really own much of anything, to be honest.
King Tut kept his bike.
Not Kim Tut. He's the guy that works down at the convenience store by us. Hey, Kim, how's it going? Hey, pretty good. Kim Tut. No.
Somebody's still bummed about the ambulance. Not me.
No, and so anyway, the point is here, the stuff is just stuff. I make a living off of finding cool things that help to make people's collections or houses more interesting or help them with their decor. But when it comes to our own life right now, the most important thing for me, is that we get this house completed and built. And that's going to take some sacrifices. And some sacrifices include the ambulance going, the motorcycle going, the Meteor sold. You got to make some hard choices because it's very important to push forward in those bigger directions.
Yeah.
Gail says, saw the ambulance on a YouTube channel in Quebec this morning. The owner has a red one also. Looks like he loves it and it's running great. Yeah, good.
I was trying to watch that. It kept buffering and I couldn't get through.
Because so many people were interested to see. That is like visiting a deceased relative, like somebody's exhumed. When they're like, hey, look, we found your ambulance. It's kind of sad. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to watch. You should watch the video if it's out there. Somebody posted a video saying that they found it. But really, it's my old car parked in some guy's driveway. I don't feel the need. I'm like, yep, I know that car. Spent a lot of time. I probably left stuff under the seat in there. He's going to find weird stuff like, like a Dracula head rolling around under there or something.
There's
He's like,
a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance there's some weird stuff left behind in that car. I did leave him a Ghostbuster pack in the car because I didn't know what he was going to be doing with it.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's smart.
Yeah.
Kathleen said, you can wear a top hat to the opera.
Yeah.
I feel like she might be further in the beginning of the feed. Sometimes people won't realize that they're in the beginning of the feed, even though the live is, say, 5 minutes on. And we'll see comments from the beginning as well.
Yep. So, yeah, update on the house coming soon. I don't care if I have to sell all the stuff I own if it means that we can make this house happen, because stuff is replaceable. Things are replaceable.
Yep.
But getting this environment for my family is paramount, and I would like to think that I'm, not even halfway done my life yet. Or if I am, that at least I tried really hard in the time that I had. So we are going to keep pushing forward and keep trying to do cool stuff. Let's see. Can you auction the Potter's house? That's funny. Castor Auctions, we're doing a auction sale December 4th, and they offered to put the house through auction on that day. Sharon asked a question on Super Chat, so we have to jump back to the Super Chats. She says, do you always agree on the items you buy for selling in the store? Do you want me to answer that? Or
I don't think we always agree, but Alexander has more. Like, I kind of take more care of our household and family things and my preschool, and Alexander I trust to take care of the store. So you'll bring home catalogs and stuff and ask my opinion, but really Alexander's kind of the captain of the store. So
captain of the store. Yep. Where's my captain's hat?
You can put it on top
I need
of
a
your
hat.
top hat.
Wait, am I stacking hats now?
Yep.
Cool.
But I think there's some things that I maybe wasn't a fan of that came to the store, but for the most part,
Yeah. Pamela asked, did Steven choose the bedroom in the basement? Yes, he wants a room in the basement.
He was actually upset that his bedroom was not in the basement. So once we said, you know what, you can go ahead, we're going to make that happen for you, he was super excited. So it's like his own little apartment down there. Well, not right now. Right now it's a hole. So.
Yeah. So we are right now. Somebody said, "Who are you guys going to be helping out this Christmas?" We've had a pretty good track record of helping folks, whether it's Adam or Hans or setting up the foundation for Madam Rack. Right now, guys, we need to focus on getting our house built. If we end up having an opportunity to help somebody down the road, we certainly will. But I think I've said it before that you have to make sure that your own house, your own foundation, so to speak, is you have a strong foundation in your own life before you can help others.
But we're part of our community as well, like our community leagues, and through them
we do quite a bit. Yeah,
there's a lot that we end up helping out with through our community leagues, not just us personally, but
we volunteer our time and we do help out.
I know through our community league we do Christmas hampers for families that might need a little bit of extra help with gifts and the food and everything, but we're continually giving back to our community because I think that's really important, that we know that we're not in this alone. We're all a family, really, at the end of the day. And if we're able to help our neighbors out or our
I think
family,
it has to come naturally too at the right time.
That's right.
Because
otherwise that's...
Yeah. Somebody said, don't sell the Rolls or the Jag. The Jag would be the last thing to go. But again, if I have to sell this sort of stuff to get the house paid for, it's fine. I mean, even if I have a big empty garage there, I'll eventually fill it. I mean, I can't think short term and think about the loss. I have to think about our future.
There'll always be something new. As well, we're kind of responsible as Drupad and Dpad homes. They are truly amazing. I know a lot of people comment underneath. You guys are actually amazing human beings.
Yeah, so Drupad's awesome.
We need to make sure that they're taken care of as well. So if we're not able to make our commitments on the house, then that ends up messing up a lot of other people's lives. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of them as well, and they're trusting us.
So I'm working extra hard to do these auctions, to sell these things, because we're employing not just our employee at the store right now, but we're employing a whole crew of people to work on that home. From the home builder to the framers to the drywall people. We're employing, probably 100 people or more, especially between the other property and the store and this house. We've given a lot of people a lot of work this year, and it will end up with us having a nice little store addition and also a nice house. But we are contributing in a lot of ways right now too. And I think about that every day that I go to that house site and I see that there's all these guys working there. I'm like, man, I better hustle my butt and I better get stuff sold, and I better make sure that I can keep making these payments and stuff, because I want to make sure that I'm keeping food on the plates of all those people that are working for us right now too. So when it comes down to charitable things, we'll see what happens, and we'll see what the future holds. But we always want to make sure that we're trying to take care of those in and around our community, even if that means that the folks in our community and lives right now are the people who are helping us, whether it's build a property or fix up a store or anything.
Nancy asked, does the new house have a teacher's office where I can plan lessons and grade homework? So because I teach preschool, I'm super lucky. I have zero homework, but I try to get as much of my preschool work done at work and not bring it home. And then the times that I do have to bring it home, I get it done in the car when I'm waiting for kids. In between all those waiting, sitting times, that's when I'm in there with my car office. But we do have a really nice office. If I needed to, I
it'll be for both of us.
Yeah, of course. Hey, Mom Mary, does it look like you can open the addition before December?
Well, she actually, Mima Mary says, does it look like you can open the addiction before December? But she meant addition, because I don't plan on opening any addictions before December. I'm going to take up smoking. I'm going to start with the patch and work my way up. But no, yes. No, but yes. More to come on that. I have a video coming out on the 1st about the store and kind of where it's at right now. And we will give you guys an update as we go along. But I'm optimistic that some of the things we've been doing will be successful. So update to come in a couple days.
Michelle, I wish you could buy the Potter's
Yeah.
house too.
Michelle says, I wish I could buy the Potter's. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful house. If that house was here in this city, it would be probably a $400,000 house,
Or more.
$500,000 house
More
or
because
more.
of how many square feet it is.
It's a big house. It's a
Yeah.
heritage home, and they're really
And the
trendy
yard
heritage
is
homes here.
crazy
Yeah.
big.
Patricia George says, I wouldn't presume to advise. I'm on my second downsize. I lost the entire house to Hurricane Isabel. It's
Oh,
all just stuff.
man.
Rock on, Alexander and Melissa. Patricia, I did not know that you were a victim of a hurricane.
I
But
can't even imagine what you had to try to overcome.
you know, it's funny. Every time I get on an airplane, I'm reminded that I really didn't need all that stuff. You know, all you have is your baggage. You're like, I'm going to go and survive somewhere for a few weeks at a time. And all the things you just leave behind you.
Mima said yes, addition.
Yeah, Mima Mary does not want me to get an addiction before December.
I can't remember who sent me. I know it was a Mima, but I don't think it was Mima Mary that sent me the little ring holders. But I keep on meaning to say thank you, whoever it was.
Yes, and some of you have been extremely kind and thoughtful
Can I
to send
show
some
what
things to the
somebody
store.
made?
Yeah, go for it.
You guys. Alexander brought this home yesterday, and he can't remember the person's first name.
No, some of our viewers are just absolutely fantastic, and they bring in little treats and treasures. My friend Bill comes through the store every once in a while with homemade pickles and stuff, and just lovely people that we have on the channel. We're very grateful for it. Sunnyside 1000, thank you so much, and thank you very much for that.
And please know, you guys, just you being here contributes to our channel. Just you being here, just you watching our channel, just you cheering us on is a huge help. So, what do you think it is?
What? Oh, somebody
What?
somebody brought a giant sack of stuff.
One for every bed.
Yes. They made handmade quilts.
What? They made us all a quilt. I'm
Thank you, Jim.
amazed because you guys, I've attempted to quilt once. It went badly. Well, look at this. We have a queen size bed and it fits on there. And they made us one for every bed. So the kids all have one. I was so shocked.
And they're using them. It was absolutely, because we know how much effort goes into making those things.
They put them straight on their beds as soon as they got them.
I would say gobsmacked, you know, that somebody would take the time out of their day to be so kind and nice.
That I can't even imagine how much time that took.
I have a super chat to answer. Thank you, Phoebe, very much. I saw your question, Phoebe Stubblefield. She says, name a shingle after me. Phoebe the shingle.
That one's Phoebe. It'll be the one above the porch.
But not if we get shingles. If I get shingles, I won't name them after you. Where did you get those from? Phoebe.
Oh my gosh, Phoebe, I'm
Thank
so
you.
sorry.
This is what you get.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you very much. So no, I mean, to think that somebody takes the time. What's funny is that somebody says, I can see Alex wearing the captain's hat from Love Boat. No, I'd have the one that the skipper had and used to beat Gilligan with. Oh, Gilligan! That's the kind I need. Not a captain's, is it Stubing hat that he had on Love Boat? Anyway, I am always grateful, I guess, that we started this YouTube channel sort of later in life, where having some kind of notoriety, I guess, or having some kind of, like people sometimes recognize you and stuff, I don't feel any different about myself or my life than I did before. I still have toilets to scrub at the store. Bob, who's on here right now, Bob the Bottle Man will attest. He was in the store the other day, and somebody had come in and they said, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you. It feels like meeting a famous person." And then Bob's in the store, and I'm like scrubbing a toilet. I'm like, Bob, you tell those people that this is not a glamorous job. There is no, you don't run into Tom Hanks out in the wild, and he's like, "Hey, nice to meet you too. I'm just scrubbing a toilet in this store right now." You never know.
It is weird, you guys. Imagine, unless you have something like this going on, or you're actually famous. If you were just going to the grocery store and all of a sudden somebody comes up to you and they're like, "I can't believe I met you. You're famous." You're like, "Who?" And you're looking to see who they're talking to, but it's you.
Yeah.
I'm just getting some bread. It doesn't feel very famous.
So I think every time we have somebody come in that's excited to meet us, it's nice though, and it is truly a wonderful thing.
Well, I'm equally excited to meet them, so at least I don't look completely crazy.
So when somebody comes into the store, and I work at the store, it's not like I don't have a job.
Yes.
I work at the store. So
it's his actual job.
When somebody comes in the store and I'm working, and they're like, "Wow, I can't believe you actually work here." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, it's real life. This is like the real reality TV." I make sure to chat, and we usually go out front and we take a picture, or if I've got an old car, or I'll show them what's going on. The last couple times someone's come in and they've been excited to come in the store, I've given them the sneak peek of the new edition where nobody was allowed to go, and showed them around. So we always try and make it a special experience when we can. And we're always very grateful for the people that come through. I mean, we're very, very grateful. And Jim Gerlinski says, I've had interviews on CBS. Jim, you are famous. Jim is Blacksmith Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to be coming through here. And next year, he's making the fancy front gates, wrought iron gates for the front of the store for me. April Kurtz, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's see, which actors would play you two?
Oh, sorry. Irene said, maybe I could show the quilts on our channel. It's like Irene knows that I need content. Thanks, Irene.
Yeah.
I'm horrible, you guys. It's been so long and I'm a very critical of myself person. So I have filmed so much. And then I'm like, oh, I could have done this better. And then nothing gets put out. So I apologize.
Mackie Mintle, whose name is Mackie Mintle on here, says they want an Emmy. Who are you really? You're someone famous, aren't you? You want an Emmy? You got to reveal who you actually are so we can look it up. One of our viewers right now on here is an actual famous person, I'm sure. Oh, for Northern Exposure. What were you doing on Northern Exposure? Now I need to know. Who won a daytime Emmy?
Do you want me to look?
Yep. No. Well,
did you say yep?
Well, Mackie Mintle, I don't think that's their real name because Mackie Mintle is Mickey Mantle but mixed up.
Oh, look at me go. You let me type that all in before my brain clicked in.
Yep. Had a Mackie Mintle rookie card once.
Oh
Patricia George says she won an Emmy too. How many people on here won Emmys? Are we the only people that didn't win an Emmy? Everybody's on here like, I want an Emmy. I want an Emmy too. What the heck? Oh, man. So you never know who's watching. I mean, oftentimes...
Didn't you work with somebody off of... Was it Northern Exposure? No. Who was
maybe.
It?
I was...
I know an Emmy. Ha, Susie, that's funny.
Yeah. For a ride around the block in your first McLaren, $4.20. Thank you.
Sarah won at Dundee. I see what you did there.
The Dundies were from The Office. Yeah, great show. I have a cousin Emmett. Does that count?
You read that.
Oh, what did Mickey Mantle say? My dog is named
Emmy. Didn't see.
Oh, let's see. I can see the actors Gomez and Morticia playing Alex and Melissa. Hee. Well, if I have my top hat and monocle, maybe. Angelica Houston, she's a classy dame. I'm okay that I also married to a classy lady. So there you go. And I like train sets. I don't like to crash them, though, in the attic. If I grow the little mustache, maybe. Hello, I'm going to go up in the attic and play with my trains. But they were like...
Oh, my gosh.
There was some heavy, awkward PDA between Morticia and Gomez Adams. Yeah. Like, I mean...
You have to tango.
You have to tango. They were not afraid to show their affection for each other in front of company. I can say that much. So maybe in that regard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bottle Bob is Uncle Fester.
No, Bottle Bob is not
he would not
Fester.
be. He would not be up for that. We'd have to first shave him. We'd have to go feed him a whole bunch.
Bandana Grandma says, speak French to me. Je parle pas français. Comment ça va? Ça va bien? I don't know. I don't know much French. I need to learn more. Tarot Crush says, loved you guys and your adventures. Thank you for your wholesome content. It soothes the soul. Thank you for that. So, boy.
Cousin It. I could, look at this hair. I could do Cousin It.
Remember when Abigail put all her hair in front of her face? She had the cousin. Yeah. She had the Cousin It look for sure. That, Cousin It probably had a lot of snot buildup in the front of his hair.
Ew.
Well, think about it. It's like he's a thing. He has to eat somehow, which means he has to squish food through all that hair into his mouth, and then there's sneezing and goop happening.
Little Llama said, Hans should be Uncle Fester. Any of us could be, but I don't think any of us want to lose our hair. I lost on Jeopardy. That's my claim to fame. That is kind of awesome.
Isn't I Lost on Jeopardy also the name of a Weird Al song? I lost on Jeopardy. I'm pretty sure. Oh, Mackie Mintle answered my question. Okay, I missed it though. Who was Mackie Mintle on Northern Exposure? Where did that Emmy come from? Where I need to know. This is now.
Well, watch on yours because somebody
was filmed in Roslyn, Washington. Interesting.
Did you guys work together?
Oh, somebody said they learned the other day that lurch was also a thing. Something post-production. Oh, okay. Maybe it was editing or something. Somebody
Well,
said
he
behind the
wrote.
scenes.
Hold on.
Reminder, Potter's House auction through
Post
casting.
production in LA main offices, filmed near Seattle.
Oh, okay. There you go. Was Northern Exposure the one with the Mountie in it?
Yeah, I thought so. You worked with that guy. Oh no,
I don't know who I worked with.
Oh,
I worked
think
on
I'm
a lot
thinking
of
a
things.
different show. Cindy of Red Deer. Did you say this one? Reminder.
Potter House auction through casting.
Castner.
Yeah, but who out there, which one of you is gonna, you have to A, want to live in a small town in Alberta, and also B, be able to live in a small town in Alberta. We had people that were interested in buying the house before, but they were in the United States.
Or Germany.
Or Germany, and they're like, I would do that move and go live in that town. Because the cost of living in that small town is actually quite reasonable. We have the house listed, I think, at 169,000 Canadian dollars. That's like 150 US, which is less than what we have into the house for renovations. So that house is absolutely phenomenal. So somebody will, we put a new hot water tank and all new windows and all that stuff. So somebody will get a good deal on those.
Randy, we would be putting a reserve on that.
Yeah, I would have
Can
to.
you imagine?
That would be awful.
Oh my gosh.
I really wish in my heart it would be so nice if Mary's daughter could have ended up with that house.
Yeah.
But they're sadly not in a position to buy right now. And I thought about even I wonder if I could do a GoFundMe and give the house to Mary's daughter, but I don't know.
I would think that it would be better if we have the opportunity to do a GoFundMe. It would be to help somebody that really needs help right now.
Yeah, that's right. We just we try and save those things for when we really need it, I guess.
Yeah, because
and
you don't want to do
the house is in Provost, Alberta, which is a couple hours from Edmonton. Kind of a couple hours from anywhere, really. But it is a nice little town. They have a golf course there, and it's on a highway. Well, the house isn't on a highway. That would be awkward.
Oh my god!
You got to get out of the front door really fast. The newsboy drives by in a truck and whips it at your door, like at your front door. No, it's the town is along a major highway route, so it's a nice little town. So somebody who's in that area who works in the oil and gas industry, which is the main thing out there, or there's a lot of hunters in that area too. That's a big hunting community out there.
I forgot about that.
They're all about they have a big, is it duck hunting, I think is what they're all about? Anyway, there's a lot of hunting and stuff. Anyway.
We don't really know. We're kind of guessing.
No, we know. We talked
to... It seemed the person at the inn.
Pauline Bryant, thank you so much.
And William wants to know, what's a good time to call your business?
You can call our business Tuesday to Saturday, 11 to 5 p.m. I'm usually there Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, though. Yeah, somebody said, I suppose there's a railway nearby. Well, not too close to the house, but there sure was a railway right next door to that hotel I stayed at. Kathy Bell says, I feel like Where's Waldo in the sea of people, but hello from Tacoma, Washington. And hello back at you.
Did we go? I was going to say hello back.
Did we go through Tacoma when we went through Washington? We should do a tour of all the cartoon sounding names like Albuquerque and Walla Walla, and we should just go to every Bugs Bunny town in America. That's what we should do on a vlog, visiting all the Bugs Bunny name towns. Should have taken that left turn in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Knock.
I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah. I-5 goes through Tacoma.
Snow.
Possibly.
Us have snow or you have snow? We don't have snow yet, but I don't want to jinx it.
Cucamonga!
It can happen anytime.
There's a lot of great names. Surprise, Arizona. Oh, yeah, what's the other one? It's called I can't even think of it.
Where's the furthest north that you've been in Canada? Where's the furthest north? High Prairie?
Maybe, I don't know. I never think in my head, I never think that I want to go north because I know it gets even more cold up there, and I don't like the cold that much. So I'm not like, you know what, honey, we should get the kids and we should drive as far north as we can. We have friends that have driven to Alaska and stuff, and no.
It's probably beautiful, but it's not my destination of choice. You know where I'd like to go back?
Hawaii?
Well, Hawaii, obviously Maui, because it's nice and hot. There's beaches.
I didn't know that Marty Robbins sang Aloha Hoi, the Hawaii song.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know that he did that.
I don't know who that is.
But you know the song.
Yeah.
Marty Robbins' Gunslinger Ballads? How could you not know?
What?
El Paso?
Are you asking me? I don't know how cold it's getting tonight. Probably frosty. Below 0 here, degrees Celsius. Thank you very much, Sean K.
I'm just stuck on the fact that my wife, who was raised by kind of a full-fledged cowboy, does not know Marty Robbins. He's like the.
Okay, let me.
He's like if you had Johnny Cash
What's
was
his
Batman and Marty Robbins would
Marty.
be the Robin.
Marty.
Is how that would work. Marty Robbins, yeah. And they both started off with the rockabilly kind of stuff and then got into, well, okay, don't look at that picture of him. He got really mustachioed later in life.
He looks super nice.
He looks
Look at
super
his
friendly.
Happy face.
Yeah.
He has like the happiest, if you guys Google Marty Robbins, he has like the happiest face of anyone ever.
We should hold it up and show them.
Just hold on, let's see.
This is what she's doing. She's looking at this picture of Marty Robbins right there. And I'm like, here's a happy guy.
Look at his happy face. I don't know who it is.
You know what? He's not that happy.
But
he just has to do that face to hold his mustache
here's the
up.
weird thing. Right under the people also ask, the very first question is, was Marty Robbins a nice guy? Oh, that's not what made him great, it says. I don't know how that's going to go.
Being a nice guy. Wait, I'm going to read it off like they did. I'm going to be the person asking.
This is by, just for context, it's by
Is this Wikipedia?
popmatters.com. So, I mean, I don't know.
Say, was Marty Robbins a nice guy? Well, being a nice guy to family man
No, this isn't something you can read out loud.
was not what made Marty Robbins great. Oh.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of stuff in there that I shouldn't read out loud.
In any voice, at any point.
Yes.
Well, glad I looked that up. Oh my gosh.
That almost went horribly awry.
Oh my gosh.
It almost got playfully off color there for a minute.
What's your filter on Alexander? Oh my goodness.
Yep. A white sport coat and a pink carnation. Hoo-doo-doo. That's what maybe I should do. I should be one of the hoo-doo-doo guys.
You guys,
like the
I'm
background
so
singer.
bad with names. Like, it could be songs that I've heard my whole life, and I have no clue who does them. You know what? That's not even bad. My preschool students, I know my preschool students, but I see the parents, and I'm like, I know that that's their parent. For the life of me, I can't remember their names. I have to, like, quick look at my cheat sheet.
Yeah.
It's bad. I'm terrible with names, but I'm really good at faces. If I've met somebody before, I know I've met them. Not their name.
Her dad stayed with us for a little while, and every night that man would sing and play guitar in the basement. Mostly kind of like romantic cowboy songs.
Kind of sad.
Sad, like about the gal, the one that got away. But
Yeah.
he loved his country music, and he and I would sit there and we'd talk about music and stuff like that. So I enjoyed it. Let's see. Everybody's saying they're terrible with names. Let's see. I'm all dressed. Oh, Michelle Leonard says, "My Woman, My Wife" by Marty Robbins is a beautiful song. My woman, my wife. Yeah, he really goes off on that one. He doesn't. Karen, what's the most unusual antique firearm you've ever found? I'm going to tell you about the most unusual antique firearm I've ever found.
And thank you very much.
And thank you for the super chat. Because you asked so nicely, and you stuffed a $10 bill in my gym shorts here while I danced on stage.
Oh my goodness.
I've made it awkward.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, that.
If they could take it back out.
Yeah, I will answer that question. Could you imagine though? And then male strippers
my goodness.
paying in
my
cash for
goodness.
big ticket items, like, yeah, I'm gonna buy that big screen TV and I'm paying in $5. Like, why are they sweaty? Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. Oh,
Wait,
anyway.
now answer the question.
I'm gonna answer the question. I'm gonna answer the question. Oh, yes.
Sure.
Okay, here's the story about the craziest firearm I've ever picked up in my life.
Oh,
I went to a fellow's house, and his dad had been a colonel in the military back in the 1960s, and they were stationed actually up in Alaska. And they had a lot of Arctic sort of items. And that's the same household that I got the Sir John Franklin wedding present. It said to Sir John and Lady Franklin on their wedding day. It was to his second wife. Crazy thing considering he perished in the Franklin expedition, pretty famous event. Anyway, they had that, but they also had a lot of other items that came from really early northern Arctic communities. And at some point, somebody, a settler or military person or someone, had traded them an old Enfield rifle. And the Inuit people, they had taken this Enfield rifle and they turned it into a trap. So it was rusty and it was gross and it was whatever. And they ended up cutting the barrel down and they put like, kind of, those little spring traps that you step on, and then it sends a little trigger. Anyway, they put a spring trap on it, and they made a nail. I guess it would be a rasp, is what they did, and they made a rasp into sort of this big spike, and they put a big spike on the end. I don't know if you can imagine it. It's a sawed-off gun with a big wooden spike coming down, and the intention was that you would take it and you would stick this big wooden spike into the tundra, set the trap in front, and wait. And you would bait the trap. And so when that animal, whatever it was, I don't know what they're hunting, let's say a seal, Lord knows, whatever it was, they were after something, would trigger that trap, and it would shoot this rasp on a big line into the animal, into the beast. Ugh. I should say this like an explorer.
This sounds awful.
Yes, you see, it would take the rasp that the locals, you see, had filed into a fine point, and it would fire it at great speed with the use of gunpowder that they'd traded with our troops. And it would go into the beast, and it would catch them, and it would hold them there until the morning. And they would come back, and they would do a dance, and they would eat it. I don't know. Something happened with it anyway. But that's how they use it as a trap. So I still have that thing in with a bunch of soapstones, and it's kind of a pretty cool, unusual item. So that's probably the weirdest thing that we ever picked up in terms of firearms. Why are you just staring at me?
That's what I do now.
Oh.
You have a super chat from either Christy or Christ.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for the super chat. Let's see. Inspiring scripture
what is he
says
talking
I'm scared.
about? See, that's why I was looking at him.
It was okay. Yeah. Gym shorts and top hat. Nobody wants to see a middle-aged man. They should have...
Should be your exotic dancer costume.
This is the thing. We're going to start a new nightclub. It's going to be all middle-aged men with realistic dad bodies wearing top hats, looking for $5 bills tucked into their shorts. And we're going to be serving up bean juice and spam juice off the top of the cans as shots. And they'll be like, what is this magical land?
I was all in till the bean juice.
Wait a minute. You're gonna have contests where, like, you know, we get big dad gut. You could put like a bottle cap on your belly button and push down and make it shoot out across the room. Hey, ladies, bet those muscly men can't do this. Pew!
I bet they can.
Oh, yeah. I'll call my nightclub Let the Good Times Roll.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. And we will serve bean juice and spam juice and yeah.
Oh
anyway, yes, that's right. You'll have to walk through a shorter door because you have to lower your expectations as you walk in. Oh. Dad bod was added to the dictionary this year. But that's 2 words. That's dad and bod. How do they, or unless it's dad bod, which sounds like R2-D2's overweight cousin. R2-D2, are you coming? Boop, 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 boop. You're slow, why? Boop, boop, boop. Because of dad bod. And then dad bod is just like a rolling, massive robot. That wheezes a lot when it does stairs. Oh. See, this is Star Wars is missing out on my ideas. Dad bod 2. You know, there's a lot of things. I was thinking back to some of these old movies we used to watch. I'm gonna end shortly after this. But how Spielbergian movies, okay, the robots in Star Wars, they had the rolling Jawa truck that, you know, they basically took the robots in, and they were torturing a robot by putting hot irons on its feet. Remember that scene?
That's the feet that I
It's
said
like
earlier.
This. It's metal. Who on earth would design a robot and then put some kind of sensors in its metal feet? The only thing that putting hot irons on the bottom of a robot's feet is going to do is make them stronger. It should be like, thanks, now I have stronger feet. Anyway, that was a weird scene from a movie. Go back and rewatch it. I remember as a kid, I was like, oh no, they're torturing that robot. As an adult, you're like, that might actually help to forge that iron a little stronger. The other thing is, if you think kids overstep in your lives, if you have children as well, I want you to think back to the Goonies. Now, there's a lot of boundary pushing that happens in that movie. You know, the kids are running amok and they're going through tunnels and finding dead bodies and dealing with gangsters and stuff. But the biggest overstep in the whole movie happens at the very end. Can you guess what the scene is? I want you to envision this. And if you haven't seen this movie, a bunch of children go on this big adventure. They barely make it out alive. They get to the end and they're on this beach. And there's Sloth. You guys know who Sloth is. Of course you do. who was a football player, by the way. The guy who played Sloth was a football player. I wonder how much acting he had to do. He was a linebacker. He probably could have plowed through. He was actually lifting the giant boulder. Anyway.
Cindy said, "Hey, you guys."
Yeah. Hey, you guys. Sloth. So the scene at the end of the movie that nobody ever talks about or makes fun of is the fact that Sloth is somehow, befriended with Chunk, which is good. They've had their moments together, right? Great. You had a fun afternoon and you lived. But instantly, what does Chunk do without checking with his parents? What does Lawrence do without checking with his parents? He says to Sloth, the one being that could annihilate everybody there, "You're going to come live with me now. Oh, we're going to take care of you." No! Chunk, you go check with your parents before you invite that man back to your house. He just threw people off his ship. He blew stuff up. He's been chained to a wall. He's going to be dysfunctional and might have some tendencies to act out. Could you imagine Lawrence's parents, Chunk's parents in that movie, when they connect and he's like, the scene that's missing from that movie in my mind is always like, "Mom, Dad," as Chunk and Sloth are getting in the back of the station wagon. He's like, "Lawrence, what are you doing with that man in our car? He's going to live with us now, okay?" And then they'd have to either A, casually get themselves out of the conversation and out of that situation where they're like, "That's really kind, but maybe we're not the best environment for him to flourish in, Chunk." And then he's like, "Ah!" And I don't know. He does it, Harry and the Hendersons moves and pushes his head through the roof and they drive off. I don't know what happens. But nobody ever questions that at the end of the movie. They're like, "Oh, how cute. He's going to take Sloth home with him." As a parent, I'm horrified. I'm like, "Oh, I don't even like it when you bring stray animals to the house, let alone a Sloth. What's that doing there?" Nobody ever talks about that. Anyway.
Somebody asked if you talk in your sleep. I don't think Alexander talks in his sleep, but Jason sure does. And he talks it's terrifying. Hey, when Jason's talking in his sleep, what is it like?
Jason, when he talks in his sleep, he has actual conversations.
But it sounds like he's it's freaky. It freaks me out every time. It's never a normal time either. It'll be 2 a.m. and I can hear Jason having a full-on conversation with someone. I'm like, and then I have to go check. When you realize you're the adult that has to go and look and see if somebody's in your house.
So, somebody said Sloth could work at the grocery store. Would he be bagging groceries? I imagine he'd be taking a cantaloupe and putting it through the paper bag. Oh, boom, punching it right through. And they'd be like, "Oh, thank you for trying. We really appreciate that." What job would Sloth be good at? DMV, perhaps? Oh, passport stamp. You're getting your license. There's many jobs a Sloth could do. Holding boulders. I don't know. Now I'm finding jobs for Sloth. Where does he go from there? That's the spin-off series that never happened. The Sloth and Chunk Show. Ba-da-da-da-da. And now, this week's episode of Sloth and Chunk. And he's just whipping nougat chocolate bars at Sloth's head. I don't know. There's a whole series that never happened there. They missed the boat. But that sounds absurd. I'm sure somebody thought of it that wasn't me, because I have these stupid ideas and I just know that somebody else out there had them before me. We should do a spinoff where Sloth is living with Chunk, and they high-five each other at the studio and then they do it. And last live chat, I was joking. I said, I always thought, and Kathy Cash was on, who was on our channel quite regularly. Kathy is a regular contributor on our channel. Kathy is Johnny Cash's daughter, a man who I greatly admire. And Kathy's wonderful and been awesome. And I said, while Kathy was on here, I said, I always thought that Ring of Fire would be a great hemorrhoid commercial song. Burning ring of fire, down, 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 and the pain, it got higher. You could change the lyrics. Anyway, and she says, "You know what? Preparation H actually asked them and they declined." So every time I have a stupid idea, I know that somebody has had that same stupid idea before me. No matter how crazy you think my brain works, some real person with a real job had it before me. So if the Sloth and Chunk Show comes out, you'll know it possibly began here, but likely began with somebody else. Anyway, on that note, guys, it's been an hour of pure nonsense. And with that, I will take a swig of my wine.
Well, now they know. It was the Kool-Aid.
It was not.
And it's not just Jason that talks in his sleep. I talk in my sleep. Apparently it's a sign of an overactive mind.
Oh, okay, fine. We've got 50 seconds. I'm going to end on this. One time, Melissa, gets out of bed, whips the covers off the bed, and points at me. I'm just like coming to, like in those movies where a bomb has gone off and everything's blurry and you can't hear and it's just ringing. That's like me when I'm waking up. I'm like, what? And I look up and I'm cold for some reason. Why am I cold? And my wife is standing above me and she's pointing. Ah! And what is she saying? Spiders and onions. I'm like, what?
It was onions and spiders.
Onions, what's happening? Where's the blankets? You're sleeping?
Something with spiders. You guys, I'm not scared of spiders, but there was another night where I woke up and I threw the covers off and I'm pointing at blackness. Like, it's dark in the room. And I said, there's a spider. It's hanging right over our bed. And Alexander's like, there is. How could you see it? I'm like, it was right above me. I could see it hanging there. And he's like, how big is it? And I'm like, he goes, we're in Canada. We don't have spiders this big.
I'm like, yeah, the second time that happens, you're like, great. More of this nonsense. And you just grab the blankets. You're like, go to bed, crazy woman. You turn over. And then she awkwardly is like, why am I standing? Why am I pointing at him?
There's always that moment where all of a sudden your brain wakes up and you're like, what am I doing here? And you're like, you can remember. It feels very real. But I remember thinking like, and then you're not quite sure. Like, was there a spider? No, I can't go in bed because I saw that spider.
I'm just like, standing. I'm cold. I am tired. And I don't have time for your nonsense. Deal with the spiders and onions on your own overnight. Angry. Yeah. I'm going to bed. I don't want to deal with it. And on that note, guys, what are you thinking? Goose You better not have goose No. Now I understand why some seniors have like not only different bedrooms, but some of them are like, I have a different house than my husband because of this nonsense. I'm going to get her that Get Smart like cone of silence to go over her side. I'll have it vacuum actuated so it can wake her up in the morning. I'll just hit a switch and she'll just be up to the top. There. I'll just flip the switch. Good morning, honey. Anyway, I am it's time for me to go because this is getting ridiculous. Guys, have a wonderful night.
Did you say getting?
It's gotten ridiculous. We had like a moment in the middle where it got real, where I spun my chair around backwards and turned my hat around so I could level with the kids. But then now things have just gotten off the rails again.
Yep.
Anyway. So guys, have a wonderful evening. We appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night and updates coming soon. We'll see you soon.
Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button because normally we have pics and,
just subscribe.
Amazing adventures.
Yeah, you should.
That you could be a part of.
All right.
Thank you all for being here tonight.
Have a night, guys.